Welcome, all you complicated emotions, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike, and I would die for Riley.
And tonight we are here to continue our discussion on the films of Pixar. This week we are covering my personal favorite Pixar film, 2015's Inside Out.
It is a really amazing movie.
It really, really is. For me, I feel like, and keep in mind, this is for someone who loves The Incredibles. I mean, The Incredibles is a fantastic film, perhaps one of the most perfect Pixar movies. This one kicks it up and even further with that because I feel this is the most perfectly cast out of all of Pixar's movies. And we're talking about over 20 films that have amazing casts. Even the bad movies have great casts in them.
Absolutely.
Hands down, this is the best cast. Every piece fits, every character fits, every voice fits.
I'm still putting Incredibles above it just because it just clicks a little bit better for me. But
exactly. Well,
Inside Out is still a fantastic movie.
Right. This one really has I love the story. I love how familiar this story can be to a lot of people, which I think is, to me, what moves it a little further than The Incredibles, because this is a far more relatable story.
Yeah.
Just as, someone who was an awkward teenager, and also as someone who was a parent, it's one of those things that they both kind of they both work for me. Mm-hmm. The jokes in this are fantastic. I think that even though this can get heavy at times, the jokes in this movie do not fall flat.
No.
And there's a lot of jokes in this movie. Also, visually, I think this is the most stunning out of all of them. With something like The Incredibles, I think I was more astounded by how good they finally got the human models to look. So, going forward, you're 11 years after The Incredibles, and the humans have only gotten better at that point, but just the design of Riley's emotions. Yep.
Well, I think with The Incredibles, the thing that kind of makes that one work as far as the human models go is that since it's like more fantastical, they're allowed to be a little bit more cartoonish in their realism.
Well, exactly, because it would be very hard for someone like Bob's boss at the insurance company to be that small compared to other characters, especially with the way Bob is built, where Bob is very top heavy.
Right.
But with this, the characters, the design of the emotions, it works on so many levels.
Yeah, the design of the emotions absolutely works, but also just the design of Riley and her parents and like all the other human characters, they're looking more, I don't want to say realistic, but you know what I'm saying? They're looking more real as far as animated humans go.
Yeah. And it's a very interesting, dive into the psyche. Now, this is a fantastical dive into the psyche, and that's the biggest complaint hurled at this movie, is that is not how emotions work. And, I understand that to the point that I can understand that. I am in no way, shape, or form a psychology expert or any of that. And it has been explained to me, and yes, thank you. I understand that. But there's just something about the way that this movie uses the emotions to kind of color and move things. And also that at the end message is not everything has to be happy. Everything doesn't have to just simply be a yellow, happy emotion. It is going to be tinged with sadness, with anger, with disgust, with fear. That's just how we work, and they're not.
Yeah, I mean that is the kind of like the final message of the movie, is that all of the emotions are important. They all need to work together in order to have a good mental imagery and good mental landscape.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think that's a great point. This is it's just That's I think what got me about this movie was just how deep they went with that, and how Joy, well, not the bad guy, she's well intentioned, but she's getting in her own way. You
Yeah.
know, her entire her entire reason for being is just to keep Riley happy. But, they can't always do that. And that's something I really appreciate about this. You want to go back to the character designs of these things. I love that Sadness not only looked like kind of like a sad poetry girl, but she kind of looked like Phyllis Smith as well. Like the actual designs of the characters looked very similar to their voice
Oh yeah.
counterparts. Lewis Black as Anger, which in my mind, he's got some of the best lines in this movie. It's the most Lewis Black you could get a family character to look.
Yeah, and Mindy Kaling as Envy, and
Yeah, we always call her Envy because she's green. She's actually called Disgust.
oh yeah,
But I see where I almost did it too. Mindy Kaling is great. She, the funny thing is that I always forget she's done other Disney voices. She was a voice of one of the bratty racers in Wreck-It Ralph.
That's right. Yes, she was. I blanked on that one as well.
Yeah, Bill Hader did a voice in Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
I mean,
it's family. I don't think Lewis Black has done one before or since. Amy Poehler, and Phyllis Smith all in that same boat as well.
Actually, Mindy Kaling was also in the Disney's version of A Wrinkle in Time. Although, less said about that one, the better.
Yeah, exactly. We can't get through it, so
yeah,
it's just hard to watch.
But I mean, also when you go to like Riley's parents, Diane Lane and Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, exactly. It's just great listening to Muad'Dib be the dad who's only thinking about soccer. He's just like.
I think she's talking to us.
Yeah. Just nod.
I loved it when when they actually went into the other people's minds, because it just expanded the world a lot more.
It did. It was kind of the one thing though, kind of like the one knock on this is that like the characters were more like leaving Riley's psyche into like the mom's psyche. Anger really wasn't all that angry. None of the other characters seemed like they were embodying that emotion. They were all the same character, just having conversation with each other, just in different colors and different shapes.
I think it's just they're just kind of saying like, as you get older, you learn to kind of temper your emotions a little bit. You learn to have a little bit more control over them.
Maybe, but the dad still has a pretty strong anger thing. I love the whole thing. Prepare to put the foot down. The foot is down. And then they're all high-fiving each other because they did such a great job. I love that.
And the mother's just like, ugh.
Yeah. We could have been with that helicopter pilots.
Come with me, Gajinya.
The teacher had the same exact. So yeah, I know I like that. It was more entertaining towards the end, and I felt like it was a great way of wrapping the movie, especially after how heavy it gets with Riley, kind of letting everything shatter and just running away, stealing from her parents, running away, getting on that bus and, coming home and just breaking down. That's what destroys me in this movie is when Riley breaks down.
Yeah, I mean, there are two really heavy emotional moments in this movie. The first one, I'm sure we will get to, but for me, it's when Riley breaks down. That is the moment that always gets me harder.
Yeah, it really is, because again, I've been through that. I will continue to go through that, and it was really difficult. So after they kind of give you like that 6 months later type of resolution. And then, dude, said Nick Groman, yes, good men do shed tears. Movies for real. We absolutely do. It was really tough because my daughter was 7 when we saw this. So, we knew we were gearing up for it. And it doesn't help either that Michael Giacchino's, this might be a top 5 Michael Giacchino score for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's not saying much because Michael Giacchino almost always cranks out a winner.
He knocks it out of the park, especially when you're dealing with Pixar. He usually, almost always knocks it out of the park. It's not nearly as hummable as the Incredibles theme, but nothing is more hummable than but yeah, but going back, so having all that heavy stuff, and then going back and then seeing the psyche of, like the guy that asks her out.
Yeah.
Girl. And
Girl.
they're just freaking out. And then the emotions inside the dog's head.
Oh, for me, it's the
Get
cat.
the man. Man has food. Get the man. And then the cat. It's just the
cat. The cat.
I love that. But yeah, the first scene that just destroys
so
us
many
as
people.
adults is Bing Bong.
Yeah, I mean, Richard Kind he's a Pixar staple at this point.
Yeah, he pretty much is. I mean, he's done several movies. He's always a standout in them. I mean, Molt. You started with Molt in A Bug's Life. No, he is no Ratzenberger, but
no,
he is definitely a standout in these, especially with these roles that require a lot more than what we're expecting of him.
Yeah.
Because Bing Bong is, I mean, first of all, it took me a little while to figure out who was voicing Bing Bong the first time I saw it. And then it's like, oh, that is Richard Kind. Okay. And it's just, he's so happy. And he's just like, he literally is like a vaudeville-esque clown.
Yeah.
For most of it.
And I mean, like, when you first meet him, he seems kind of shystery. He's just like, he's got this little bag. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. He is stealing stuff. And
yeah.
I legitimately thought he was going to be kind of like that covert antagonist.
Yeah, and let's cut through this place. I don't think we should go there. No, come on, it's really quick. Yeah. And then abstract thought. I mean, I love that scene.
Oh, that was fantastic. But yeah, no, to give him the most heartbreaking of Disney demises, the Take Her to the Moon for me is just like
yeah, that's a tough one, especially when he says, let's go one more. He like sees himself disappearing. He's like, let's go one more time. I've got a really good feeling. And you kind of at that moment kind of like, oh no, he's not gonna. Oh
yeah. No, you know he's not gonna make it at that point, and it is a very difficult thing to watch. The fact that he legit dies is so dark for kids. Yeah. No, exactly. And that's the thing too. There's really no hope of him coming back.
Yeah.
This isn't like Drop Dead Fred where, your maybe presumed to be adopted stepdaughter will, they'll take the mantle of Bing Bong on or something.
I mean, you may still like, Riley may still have like memories of him, but
they're faint.
Yeah, and it's like I once had a imaginary friend, but I haven't played with him because you're not going to play with him anymore.
Right, and there is that short term that goes away, and then every once in a while you get like these flashes of it.
Yeah,
that happens to me a lot, which is weird.
Yeah,
but so you don't even know if it was a real memory or if it was just something that you've kind of manufactured in your head. Gotta love how the human mind works. But yeah, I just, there's so much to love about this movie. And even though a lot of it ended up having to be, you can't go the full legit science route on this. You have to make things up, make it more accessible, even for like a dum-dum like me to be able to kind of like that. I love that there is in fact a train of thought that is just a literal train.
Triple that gum will make you smile.
Oh, God,
triple that gum
will make you smile. And I love the bus driver carrying that, and all he's got is like 5 angers, just and they're all just like the flames going off.
I just love it, Anger's doing something really serious, and then say triple that. No, Uh,
And that's really, it's clever how that works.
yeah.
And the way they do that, they drop that in there, and it's there. It's like they keep sending it up because it's a joke to the lower organizers there. I had a wild imagination as a kid, and some stuff as an adult, I'm like, that actually happened, or just my child mind making up that memory to feel like it's great. Yeah, you're right. It does. It feels crazy when that happens, and
I think my favorite part of that troll triple dun come though is the fact that then it shows like Riley on her computer. Triple dun come, triple dun come.
yeah, exactly. Riley's doing that. Yeah, and I like too that her, we go back to the memories, just like there is that when sadness starts touching those memories,
Mm.
and she, it's like there was this happy memory and now it's being tinged with sadness. And you think about, it's like, well, why would sadness do that? It's because, these were good memories that are gone. She's moved on, she's moved to San Francisco. And it's just, it really, it's tough to put into words because this movie is just like, I don't know, I just feel like it's tough to critique this movie because there's a lot going on with it. It's a lot headier than a kid's film tends to be, but not so much that it's a sledgehammer of guilt or message or something like that. It's a simple story that's got a lot of it's doing a lot of work in the background.
Yeah, I mean, they could. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, you got another one here. Hey, I hate sadness. I understand how she is an emotion.
I mean, that's the thing about this movie is that they could make it much more like not realistic because it's talking about personified emotions, but they can make it more, scientifically accurate and all that. But it's and when it comes right down to it, it's still a movie for families.
Right.
So they pretty much just took a family movie and made it as far as they could with emotions and trying to keep it all psychologically accurate and still make it attainable for everybody.
Yeah. No, I completely agree because you could do that. You could take all either like 54 classified emotions or something like that and throw them all in one room.
Voice cast would be enormous.
Oh my, exactly. It's just like, oh, come on. Do we still get to give Amy Poehler credit, like the top billing credit on this? She's so good.
She is.
And it's like this is like, you ever have like a performer who does something so well, when she was chanting those memories, legit hurt my heart. Yeah, it does. Because I was doing the same thing. I'm like, why are you doing this? Stop that. But holding back on those emotions is something that we deal with as well. We hold back on our those emotions, try to keep them positive. So that's like when she draws that circle, like you can't leave the circle.
Yeah.
But I was saying though about Amy Poehler is that like this is a kind of role where I never want to see her do another animated voice again. It's like you perfected this one. It's like if Tom Hanks decided he was going to do another cartoon voice. I mean, just think of. All right, I'm going to throw this out. You really want to think about all of the animated voices that Robin Williams did after the Genie. I can think of two, by the way, if you're Fern Gully.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember if Fern Gully was before or after.
I think it was I think it was after. Okay. Fern Gully. I think Fern Gully's 93, and Robots.
Oh, I've never even seen Robots.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you should have stopped at Genie. Just leave it at Genie.
To be fair, though, I love Batty. He was my favorite character in Fern Gully. Come on.
Yeah, that is past my expiration date. So
he got a good rap. Come on.
Yeah, that's the problem when you make your cartoon characters rap. See also the Titanic animated movie where they have a rapping dog.
They made an animated movie on Titanic.
Are you unaware?
I am completely
Oh,
unaware.
Mike. Oh, Mike. I
I'm
want
not even.
you.
No, I'm not going
Oh,
to.
no. Okay,
No,
fair enough.
I
I
saw
was gonna say,
I saw the James Cameron. That was enough for me. Thank you very much.
yeah. Okay. Well, there wasn't a rapping dog in that one. Then maybe that's what
It
that
would.
needed.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely needed that. Replace Billy Zane with a rapping dog in that movie, The Gangbusters.
Oh my God! It's just like now we've got this cottage industry of fan fiction Billy Zane movies where he just replaced with a rapping dog. The movie would be even better. The Phantom starring the rapping dog. Demon Knight starring the rapping dog. They combined everything in the movie about adult emotions. Animals had it. Also, I'm hoping they don't make it inside. I don't think they will.
The closest thing they made to an Inside Out 2 is Riley's first date.
Oh man. Let's take a few
Segway.
minutes. Yeah, let's segue into that one real quick. It is, I think, my favorite Pixar adjacent short, like the Pixar movie adjacent shorts.
What I like the most about it, though, is that it actually spent a minimal amount of time in Riley's head, because
most of the time it was in Dad's head.
Yeah, we spent most of Inside Out in Riley's. So this was like, you know what? We don't really need to go back there. Let's check out Mom, Dad, and what was his name?
Oh Christ, I don't remember the kid's name.
Hold on,
look that up.
Yeah.
But I love how the kid just kind of shows up being like how we all fear. Yeah. The first date of our daughters is going to be just like vacant. Kid was vacant the entire time because they were doing a half pipe in his subconscious.
Yeah. Until Dad found out that they both loved AC/DC.
Oh man, there's a bit in that when he's thinking back when they do the projector. It's like he likes AC/DC, and they go back and they show the dad playing guitar, and he's got the long hair, but he's doing that 80s thing of that that lip pucker thing and the walk. He's like
Jordan.
Okay. And meanwhile, the mom's emotions, haven't seen it. I think it
yes, is. It is. It definitely is. Like that's where I watched it 2 days ago.
It's fantastic. It really is fun. The mom.
It's only like 5 minutes long.
Trying to stay cool and relevant for Shizzy and
for Shizzy.
Did Mom say for Shizzy?
That's it. I'm out.
Yep. Oh, it really MFR, check this out. M4R, check this out. It really is. It's worth it. I mean, there have been tons of the Pixar adjacent stuff, and I'm not including like the half hour. Or I don't know. Okay, now you get me thinking. What? This or Toy Story Small Fry? Because I'm trying to think of the other ones. I mean, there aren't a lot of the adjacent films. I almost don't want to count the Toy Story ones because there's so damn many of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the Toy Box of Terror.
Well, they were the half-hour long ones. Those are like TV specials. But there were several short things like the Party Pooper Rex one.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. There was the one where they made up the vacation of for Barbie and Ken. Small Fry is the one with all of the great like the Happy Meal toys.
Oh, Small Fry is hands down my favorite.
Hands down my favorite. But I really feel just now you've got me thinking. Are there any? Because they didn't really do many for the Incredibles other than the
Jack's.
Then the thing with the babysitter. They did the thing with the babysitter, and then they had the one with Edna for Incredibles 2, babysitting Jack.
Didn't they also have one with Raccoon?
No, they never did that. And I said that's what I wanted to see. And I don't think they actually did one. I might be wrong. Maybe if they did more of the Pixar popcorn. Jack Attack. That's the one. That's the one with the original babysitter. Thank you.
I think they've done a few with Cars, though, because Larry the Cable Guy needed paychecks.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, everybody, I got more gambling debts. Can you pay me? I'm going to check it out tonight. Toy Story has so many. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely their cash cow. You don't get a lot out of Inside Out, unfortunately, in terms of the just in terms of how you can market it. I still have yet to do. Oh yeah, Mater. God damn. Go watch our Cars reviews. We've got another one coming up in a few weeks, don't
Oh
we?
yes, we do.
Yes, the pain. But
I don't feel it's going to be as painful as Cars 2, though.
no, I don't know. Well, you know what? No, it'd be very hard to. But we, in a few minutes, we'll have that conversation because we've got something else we have to discuss. So I was saying that like I still have yet to, because the line's always been too long. Like at Epcot, you can do the photo thing with joy and sadness. If that's still there, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down
Want
for
to?
it.
Maybe. But that's neither here nor there. So I think that I would have to say that Inside Out. Yeah. What? You're formulating a thought.
Well, no, because you never asked the question. How did you first see Inside Out?
I didn't. My wife and kid went to the movies. How about you?
This one I saw in theaters, actually. In fact, I flew out to this one of the times I flew out to California. It was right after Inside Out had come out, and John had dragged me to the theaters and showed it to me.
Dragged you, yeah. So actually, yeah. So I was working at the mall when the movie came out, and I had just seen it, and I was working with this woman who had two small kids. They're like, "Oh, okay, we got to get to our movie." And I'm like, "Oh, what are you seeing?" Like, I'm seeing Inside Out. I'm like, I handed her a handful of Kleenex. I'm like, "You will thank me later."
Did she?
She didn't come back that way, but but it's movies after work. Oh, oh, awesome! Thank you.
Yeah,
definitely.
And thanks, Thomas, as well.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. Awesome. Yeah, we got to get Thomas back on here. We got to get more stuff going on with this, because we haven't had a collaboration in a bit.
Yeah.
We definitely need to.
Oh,
thank
absolutely.
you, by the way. Movies for Real, thank you for joining us tonight. It was really nice, because this was really like last minute. We had a lot of stuff going on. And speaking of that, next review will not be next week. I think I'm springing this on Mike now, because I'm in Tech Week next week.
I kind of figured we'd have to take a week off somewhere.
Yeah, we're taking the break, which is good, because the next movie that Mike and I are going to review in our Pixar Palooza is The Good Dinosaur, which Movies After Work co-host Alex Duez said, "Fuck this movie." So
I have never seen it.
It is his least favorite. I saw it once and I fell asleep. So
technically, you've never seen it either.
Oh, I've seen about half of it. I remember Sam Elliott might be in it, playing a grizzled dinosaur. Maybe. Oh yeah. Okay. Disney Plus. Even though this is one of those weird ones that shows up on Stars a lot. I was on the episode with him and Alex. Oh, okay. Did you do Shang-Chi with them?
Great movie.
Oh, great movie. Fantastic movie. Love that movie. Yeah. Maybe that was one he did. Yeah. I lose track, because like the way I have to listen to podcasts now, they're just in my ears, like one earbud in my ear while I'm living my life. It really is tough. And they just started releasing episodes. Oh, yes. Fantastic episode. You guys were awesome on that. I was listening to that while my son was at the park, because again, this is how I do that. Usually Movies After Work is like my like my outdoor work podcast, but because they took that long break, it ended up being Verbal Diorama's Patreon releases. So I'm always in good company. I always have friends in my ears. So, isn't that nice? Yeah. But yes, well, Movies for Real, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.
At some point, if you're interested, we are going to be hitting on some unworthy sequels pretty soon. Maybe you'd like to join us for some of those, because we got to get Kurt back on for one, where we talk about the worst of the worst. The why did you make this sequels? Much like Caddyshack too.
Yeah, that's a low bar to set.
That is a very that bar is so low that you can not only you can trip on it. Awesome, because you're gonna love our next episode, our next podcast episode, which should be coming out in about a week or two. I gotta
Yeah.
pull those clips from Mike,
Yes,
where
please.
we had our fantastic discussion about our our favorite debut albums. So great conversation. I had a great time with that one too. That
I
was
knew
a
you
lot
would.
of fun. That was really fun. I think next year our summer music episode is going to be Yacht Rock, though. We've never touched Yacht Rock, and I think it is time.
Well, hold the line. Love isn't always on time.
Yeah. And like I said, I've had Pamela in my head for like no reason. Cool. So many crap sequels. I'm with you there, buddy. All right. So anyway, let's wrap this up so I can go measure out for a new couch. Literally, this is what I'm doing as soon as I'm done with this. You won't even get like the official video set up on YouTube probably until tomorrow because
the excitement never ends.
So anyway, Mike and I do host a little podcast called Geek Salad. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio, or on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. Neither of us are wearing the swag, but you can check us out on TeePublic, keyword Geek Salad Podcast. Get your, yeah, I'm not wearing mine. Mine is fading. I gotta get a new one. My coffee mug's holding up.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, at least that's holding up, and that goes to the wash almost every day. So we've got all that stuff. Check out the archive. If you haven't done so already, subscribe, stay notified, leave a polite comment below. We want to know what your thoughts on Inside Out are. Is this top 10 Pixar for you?
Absolutely.
For me, it's my number one.
For me, it's definitely in my top 5. I need to really think about where I put it, but it would be possibly in my top 3.
Okay, yeah. It's always been up there for me, and it was like I kind of had like that come to Jesus moment. Kind of like when I finally realized that maybe Ragnarok is my favorite MCU movie. But awesome. Thank you. So anyway, Movies for Real, thank you for joining us on the chat tonight. We really appreciate it. Great to meet you kind of in person here. We'll see if we have an assignment for you as well. But until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.